Welcome to another episode of CrossTalk. My name is Kevin Tocci. I will be your host for the next 30 minutes. And as we like to do from time to time with this particular program, it's kind of an informational vehicle to be able to inform the two communities that we best serve, that is Whitman and Hanson, about a number of topics and items, whether it's about something going on in the community, upcoming events, community issues, maybe just to have a conversation with some of the folks in and around the community itself. That's what today is going to be about. We are fortunate to have the gentleman who is the recreation director here in the town of Whitman. We have Ollie Amado, who is joining us, and we're here to talk about the commission, a lot of the fun things that they've been doing, some things that are upcoming. Welcome to CrossTalk, my friend.
Thank you for inviting me, Kevin.
First and foremost, tell us a little bit about how you got involved with the rec department. Yeah.
Someone called me up and told me there was a position opening on the recreation director job. They knew I was involved with many sports leagues and running leagues, and they asked me to apply for it, and I did, and here we are today.
What's some of the challenges that you've faced? What first coming in? With anything, when you come in, you want to kind of set the tone and kind of get an idea of what's going on as to the landscape.
Yeah, well, first of all, we knew that the programs that we had, we were shrinking. We weren't expanding no more, and that was the direct cause of that was because of the turnaround of directors. I think we went through like 4 directors in 4 years. So because of that, the attention to detail to our programs just wasn't there no more. Marketing wasn't there for the programs. There was no person leading the charge, per se, to let the community know what we were doing. And once that starts happening, it just starts to implode on itself. So that was a couple of things when I came in. I realized that we needed to do a top to bottom review of all of our programs and how we actually operate as a commission. That took some time, but we were able to fix a lot of things due to the fact of the fast turnarounds for the last 4 years. And now we're back on track, and we're getting stronger and stronger as the time goes by.
What are some of the things that are offered to the town via the rec commission through the department?
First and foremost is the pool program. We offer swimming lessons to the public. This year we're trying to add a couple of little more programs to the swimming lessons. A baby and mom type thing is one thing that we're looking into, and more than likely will happen this year. The swimming lessons, we have the swim team and just the town pool itself. Also, we have the summer park program, which is a place where the kids can go and have fun 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, for 5 weeks. And they play games, they arts and crafts, all that. They go on field trips. It's a good educational tool for them. And also, they, instead of being at home, sitting around doing nothing or playing Xbox, they can actually go out and have fun with the kids in the community and right inside our small little park.
Back in our day, if you don't mind me saying that,
Yes.
the one thing that our parents would say, at least my parents would say, is they feared us kind of just being around doing nothing, because usually trouble would come of doing nothing, where you'd go and do things that you probably shouldn't. So having something to keep you busy, whether it was being outside, whether it was being part of an active group or doing activities, were key then, and I think they're even more key now, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely, absolutely. With all the things going around the world, and it's we need a tool to keep the kids busy, keep them occupied. Or as my father used to say, keep you honest. But yeah, we absolutely, especially nowadays more so, because you get social media and you got, like I said earlier, Xbox and all those things.
Video games. Kids just get drawn in. It's like they're in front of the TV
all day.
All day.
Yep.
And all night.
And that's not healthy But being able to go outside, swimming lessons or park program or whatever the other programs we have, you know, they get to go outside, actually meet people, actually play with the other kids, and that's important. And that's something that we had back in our day.
Right.
You know.
Well, back when I was growing up, 8 o'clock in the morning, you had breakfast, and the door was closed behind you. Go out and play. Be within the voice. Be in the range of hearing my voice.
Yes.
Oh, when the street light comes on, get your butt in the house.
Yeah.
That's the way it was back in my day, and I sound like an old timer. I hate to say it, but that's the way it was. But we didn't have the video games. We didn't have the internet where we would kind of be locked into the house and kind of isolated from the world.
Yes. It's funny because I saw on Facebook a couple of days ago, someone showed a front yard with 5 bicycles, and they said basically that's how we knew where everybody was.
Right.
Compared to social media today, where it's just, they're over Joey's house, let's go over there. Yeah. So yeah, having the programs for the kids are very important, and I think it's healthier. They get to do more, again, being out in the public, and that's what we're trying to offer to the residents of the town.
What are some of you talk about the park, you talk about the pool. What are some of the other things that you're doing to expand? Are you getting more involved when it comes to the holidays? I know that yourself and my colleague Paul Watson did something regarding the Family Fun Day that took place on the 4th of July. And I also know that you're also working, or it's actually planned, to have a big to-do for the holidays. Talk to me about those items.
Yes, the 4th of July, basically, that's been around for a while. We just kind of added more things this year and planning to add more things next year.
Awesome.
To keep it more interesting, to keep it more family orientated, and just to give the kids more things to do. So that's the goal, is to keep on expanding on our programs. The Christmas event that we're having on December 10th, Saturday, December 10th of this year, is another thing. We started that last year, and it was only 2 events. It was Santa Claus coming to the town hall, and then the movie night later on. Well, since then, we added a bunch of other stuff in between. There's going to be a concert in the afternoon from 2:30 to 3:30. There's going to be arts and crafts presented by the Whitman Public Library.
Very nice.
So we're getting the other parts of the town involved, the other departments, which is nice. And they're going to go from 11 to 2, I believe. Okay. And so they're overlapping, so that the kids can go see Santa, they can go down and listen to story time, do arts and crafts, and then the concert will come. And if they want to go down and watch a big band concert doing Christmas music, they can watch that. And then after that, we got the movie. It's going to be the Santa Claus. So the kids can come down and see that in the town hall auditorium. They're welcome to bring their bean bags and pillows. We will have seats, but the kids are welcome to sprawl out if they want.
Sprawl out.
Free popcorn. Again, everything is free on these events. And the other thing that we added was a Christmas train ride in the town park. That's from 4:45 to 6:45. There's going to be a jumpy there, so if the kids are waiting to get on the train, they can
be on the
jumpy. Rudolph and Frosty will be there. There's going to be a special guest of honor, and I'm not going to say who, but I think everybody knows.
Okay.
He's scheduled to be there between 5 and 6. We might convince him to stay a little longer, but we'll go from there. And the train line will go around the pond and back to the bandstand, where I almost said it, where our special guest of honor will be, and just do that. They'll keep on going back and forth. We're trying to get a couple of more events. I think we might have some face painting, people doing face painting. We're working on that as well, just to add a little bit more to it. Again, people keep on saying that, Winterfest,
What's it like having the comparison? I've been privileged to be able to sit down and speak with a guy like a Richard Rosen or a Carl Kowalski, kind of the fathers of
Yes.
the town, so to speak, and those who give so freely and often to this community. And it was Winterfest, from what I understand, and if I'm wrong, I apologize, but it was supposed to be one
year.
time.
Yes.
And it just so happened that it gathered enough steam that it lasted over 20 years, and it also spilled over into a couple of fun events on New Year's, for the dropping of a cookie. What's it like to be, having people going, "Oh, are you gonna," and how do you try to say, we're going to have fun at this, but we're trying to be our own standalone type of thing?
Well, first of all, Winterfest is a whole different animal to itself. It was huge, big shoes to fill, and we don't intend to fill those shoes quite that way. But to fill the void that was left behind and do what we can do for the community and for the kids and the family is to have a nice family outing. Again, we're expanding it. I don't ever we're not going to close down Whitman Center for these. It's basically going to be from the town hall to the park, and keep it in that central area.
Not a bad idea.
And it would be nice. It's nice scenery. But to have the comparison to Winterfest was really large. It was really big, and a lot of work that Mr. Rosen and others had to put into that.
Right.
It's something that's probably 6 months to 8 months preparing.
Right. They had a general committee of folks who got together. They volunteered, and
Yes.
they loved what they did, but it ran its course. And when something runs its course, again,
Yeah.
there are just those things that sometimes it ends, unfortunately. But this is good that this is a good family fun alternative.
Yes.
That is blazing its own trail, and how do you keep it cost effective? How do you keep it where you're able to offer some of the goodies and bring people in and be able to have vendors and offer free popcorn? How do you keep things cost effective?
Well, right now it's through donations. Busy Bee has donated a lot to this from Whitman, John Coffey,
Sure.
and Sal. Harding Print is another one that is donated to us, and others are, I'm not sure all of the particulars because we're still working on it, but
Sure.
a lot of that is from donations. And the other part is from Recreation Commission giving back to the community. But trying to keep things cost effective, and that's the other issue, to try to bring it, again, trying to use that comparison of Winterfest, to try to bring it to
That level.
that level is, as we all know, it's a lot of money.
Sure.
But to keep it compact and going and adding a couple of extra wrinkles to it every year, making it fun for the kids, that's what it's probably going to be. I do see it getting bigger, but nowhere near the size of Winterfest.
Is it strict now? Do you always, is it paid staff, or do you have a group of volunteers who are faithful to helping the rec department and helping on events like this?
Yes, it's volunteers. There is no paid staff. It's volunteers. The commissioners themselves, they volunteer their time.
Yep.
Their family members, my family, and others, and some of the park staff and the pool staff that are paid staff during the season, during the summer season, will come on and help out. And of course, we're always happy to get more volunteers.
Sure. What are you trying to do to try to stimulate more volunteers? Because you look at today, we were kind of reminiscent about how things once were, and it seems as though over the past, I want to say 10 to 15 years, our lives have gotten busier, and
Yes.
those people who volunteer, whether they sit on a municipal board or they help out with an organization, what's your way of being able to reach out and get people to participate and help with recreational things in the town?
Well, just from what we saw from last year to this year, I think once the community sees that we are actively making things better with the recreation department, whether it be the pool, which a lot of people saw a lot of improvements there, the park program, and now these other programs that we're starting up, we're finding out very quickly that once the community sees that we are serious about this and we're putting our effort into it and we're making things better, now it seems like they're coming out and, okay, they're actually, they actually do care. They actually are making it better. And the volunteers are coming out, I was really surprised. But then again, not because this is Whitman. This is the way Whitman's always been. People, we will come out and support.
Mobilize, yep.
Mobilize our, and that's something that you don't see in other towns, which is very unique to this town. And I've been here for 50 years now. So it's, it is very, it's very warming to see that. It's nice to see that.
You look at, again, you've worked hard over the past couple of years, from last year's holiday events to this year's holiday events. What's your vision like as far as for recreation, the rec commission, rec department, and what you see providing the town, let's say, in 2 years, say 3 years, 5 years? Do you have a vision like that, or is you're trying to take it 1 year at a time?
No, we do. We have a vision where actually the goal is to go 365 days a year. That's the ultimate goal. Not just be, because in the past the department was, and I believe it was under Michelle Winnett, when she was recreation director, it seemed like there was programs every month or every other month throughout the year, all 4 seasons, and that's where we're getting back to that. That's the direction we want to go. And next year we're going to have something to do with Halloween. We're talking about starting up a street hockey league. Street hockey used to be very big back in our day, very big. It kind of went away, and now we're starting to hear some interest. Yeah. So that more running events, more, and some winter programs during winter vacation and spring vacation, where the parents could drop their kids off during those weeks. Well, it's a week each, winter vacation and spring. So they could drop their kids off to a winter version of the summer program at the park, but we would have it at the auditorium or maybe even at the library or something like that. Right. These are the things that we're going to be doing, and hopefully we can do it within the next 2 to 3 years. It may take 5, but that's every year we want to do better.
You talk about being able to drop off, for someone to be able to drop off their kids. You look at how the world has changed. We look back 30, 40 years ago. You have to worry about people who are predators or have, not worry about where your kid is at all times, because you don't know what's going to happen if they're left alone for a second. Somebody driving by who is, who has a troubled past. Yep. How important is it that you offer something like that that's a safe zone and something that's safe for kids of all ages?
I think it's extremely important for the community. We all have kids in this community, so I mean, we're looking out for each other's best interest. But in a town like Whitman, it's getting bigger. Going back years ago, like we keep on going back to the old days, you knew everybody in town. Everybody knew everybody. Today, it's a little bit different. Today, you can go to, who's that person? Who's that? But for the most part, you do know most of the people. But it's very important to provide those programs, again, so that the kids do have a place to go. And again, meeting all the kids and getting out in the community, that's very important. That's very important.
Okay. How often do you have people coming to you with ideas with programs? What are some of the things that you've heard from folks over the past couple of years that you're like, that's a good idea? You're like, I don't know, that maybe not now. What's some of the things that you've had people approach you with?
Well, somebody last year approached us, wanted to do a big haunted house in the town hall.
Oh, goodness. I wonder where they get that idea from.
I don't know, but, and they wanted it to be really scary, which kind of knocks off the kids. I mean, you don't want 3 and 4-year-old kids to go through something.
Terrified, right?
Terrified, yeah. We still want it to be fun. A little spooky, but fun. And then they had the idea that it would go down through the old police station and the cells. And
of course.
I kind of liked the idea at first, but then I'm not too sure how that's going to work, but it's in the back burner maybe some sort of version of that, maybe somewhere else.
How important is it that it's again cost effective?
Yes.
And it also depends on. I mean, I don't know what you have for volunteers or for staff to be able to erect something like they had at the middle school, which was it was wildly popular.
Yes.
Our good friend who is no longer with us, Steve Roy, used to love every year going and taping. We've got our video library is we've got tapes of him going in and being scared or interviewing and being quick-witted with people. I mean, is it a matter that you'd have to set something up to that magnitude, and would you have the bodies to be able to do it?
Well, that's the other question is again mobilizing the troops to do it. And I think you can. It's just a matter of finding a venue, and you don't want to step on another department's toes.
Sure.
If they're doing something you don't really want to, you got to be careful of that and mindful, because you don't want to, to take away from each other.
Right.
But yeah, I think, in this town, I think you can mobilize a good portion of people to volunteer. And if they want, people, like with this Christmas event, last year they were talking about it. This year they're really talking about it. So once it may be something that we might start off small for Halloween or something.
Sure. And
then just like we did with this, and see how it goes. And that's basically it. And again, it's got to be cost effective. That's the goal.
You talked Halloween. We've talked about 4th of July. We've talked Christmas. How about earlier on in the year? Anything in Easter driven, or
Yes.
I mean, what's some of the other ideas that you guys are working on and looking at?
We're looking at doing an Easter egg hunt.
It's always a good time.
And whether it's going to be outside or maybe inside, that's something that we're looking at. Again, the indoor programs, dances and things of that nature, start to get back to the way we were several years ago, and that's the thing. But, unfortunately, we can't do it all at once. It's got to be a gradual, and start working that way. But yeah, 2 or 3 years, I think when we look back and we're going to say, wow, we were there and now we're here. And it's going to be for the best of the community.
You had mentioned about, since you've kind of come in, you want to take it, you want to be able to kind of get the word out there. What are you doing in regards to social media? How has social media been an assistance to you in order to be able to get the word out about the programs, the things that you're trying to do, and try to have people come in and help out with your vision?
It's been huge. Social media, that is. Again, going back to last year, we doubled the size of our programs with participants in the park and pool just by using social media. Because, like I said earlier, marketing for our programs just dried up because of the quick turnaround of directors. And we identified that as an issue, and we really attacked that head on, the marketing of recreation programs. And between Facebook, the internet, here even, and Whitman Express, and this station here, it's been huge. I can't stress that enough, that you really got to go out and be proactive for your programs and let the community know that you do exist.
Right.
If you don't say nothing, they're not going to know. They're going to just drive by and go, oh, what's going on over there? But if you put the word out and let them know that you are offering a service, that you are offering something to the community,
right,
they come out. But they have to know. You got to let them know.
We got about 5 minutes left.
Sure.
Is there something I haven't asked you about the Rec Commission, the department, things that you offer, but you feel is important that you share with the viewers who are at home watching this program?
Yeah, come on out to the Christmas event and enjoy yourself. And stay tuned. We got more things to come. The 4th of July, the pool programs. We're getting better and bigger every year, and that's where we want. We want to serve the town and the community. But yeah, just come on out. You know, if you have any questions, they can call us, email us through the town website, and
Yeah, you actually told me the other day that right now, are we waiting for a new website, or is there something going on in regards to?
yeah, they were working on the website, which is I think pretty much all set.
Okay.
So I was a little bit behind on my information on that. I guess it had already taken place.
Okay. So what about as far as Facebook or Twitter? Do you have? Is there some
Yes.
way for someone to search for you on either one of those mediums?
Yes, Facebook at Whitman Recreation, and you're right on. And we our programs as they go on. Right now we're doing pretty much just the Christmas. And on our town website right now, we just switched that today to the Christmas stuff, to the Christmas events, I should say. And those are the ways that you can stay in, keep track of what we're doing, and the advertisements that we send out in the Whitman Express and through here.
Right, and don't forget, if there's any time, as you and I had a conversation not too long ago, we have a community bulletin board, and that's for anybody who has an organization. If they're doing an event that's for the betterment of the community, that's what the community bulletin board here at WHCA, whether you're in Whitman or Hanson, and we even do other communities. There are other communities that we serve, whether they're having a blood drive or something. We are a good community partner, and that's what we like. So if somebody has something, they can always give WHCAtelevision@gmail.com, or some people just want to write it out. You stick it right in our little mail slot, and we'll make sure that we put it up. I got to ask. I got to say one thing. Is thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll look for, maybe we'll get an update from you after the holiday event.
Yes.
What do you think is going to be the most popular event of all of these that day? Do you think there's going to be one particular one?
I saw last year with Santa Claus coming to town. That was huge.
Yeah.
I got a feeling it's going to be between that and the Christmas train ride. I got a feeling that those two are going to be the big ones. I couldn't decide. I couldn't choose right now.
So get there early. Get in line early.
Yes.
Is what you're saying.
And remember, the special guests of honor will be there between 5 and 6.
Right. You might be able to get them to stay a little bit longer.
A little later, yes.
A little bit longer. Okay. Something to definitely keep an eye on. But we thank you very much for coming to our studio and chatting about the Rec Commission, all that you're doing, all that your volunteers are doing. And we want to thank you for tuning in, as you always do, to find out what's going on in the two communities that we serve. That's what CrossTalk is about. If you have any suggestions for guests for the program, WHCAtelevision@gmail.com. Until next time, you've been watching CrossTalk. Have a great day.
In Vietnam, we took care of each other.
In combat, you look out for your battle buddy.
I'd do anything for my unit,
When things get tough, it's great to know
Somebody's there for you.
every step of the way.
DAV stands behind America's veterans to make their transition back home easier, with free services and help getting the benefits they've earned. Help us fulfill the promise to our men and women who served. Go to DAV.org to learn more.